Hello all you beautiful people out there, what is going on? This is your friend Britik coming fast with another Predecessor video, and today, yes, finally today, we get to take another first look at Predecessor, this time for the first time in the year 2022. You guys are going to get my first honest thoughts on the gameplay before you guys dive in this weekend. And if you want to catch more gameplay, you guys can check me out live, twitch.tv/BritikHD. I'm gonna be streaming the entire weekend, so you guys can check me out over there. Drop a follow while you're over there, and if you enjoyed this video, please consider dropping a like. It'll mean a lot to me. It'll show me you guys are excited just as I am. So without further ado, let's get right into this video. Now first off, I want to say that at first glance you might not notice too many changes if you have a keen memory and an astute eye from the last closed weekend. That was about 8 months ago. I know it's been 8 months at this point, but the game is still fun, it's still smooth, but now it seems even faster, with most games barely making it to the 30-minute mark. I know most of our games were pretty one-sided, or you didn't have too many team fights around Orb Prime, so maybe, just maybe, games will last a little longer than 30 minutes, but they lasted a really good amount of time, which was my favorite part. And I'll kind of go into why that was the case as to what changed from last time. But overall, I am very excited to play it this weekend, and I think you guys will be too once you feel how smooth it feels for being in such a state in still what's considered early development. Now, there are things that can be improved, such as the audio. For example, when I was playing Grux, his basic attacks, his abilities sometimes didn't feel heavy enough, like you were actually pounding somebody with heavy clubs. It just seemed like you were kind of thwacking them just a little bit, like with a pillow or something. You weren't really hitting them with these big heavy weapons. Sometimes the camera angles would be strangely locked during abilities, or maybe they wouldn't zoom out when you feel like they should zoom out during an ability. These little tiny details that were in Paragon that are not just yet in Predecessor, but they don't really take too much away from the overall experience. This is more so of a quality of life and AAA polish kind of detail that I noticed. And also, another thing that I just wanted to point out, just to make sure you guys don't think it's all rainbows and sunshine, that the item shop, if you have not played it before, you're gonna have to take a second to get used to it. Some things are just not optimized and organized as well as they possibly could be, in my opinion. I think there could be more filters, easier ways to search for items such as the crests, which play a very important role in the game. And a lot of the times people might not even realize what they're buying because the auto buy feature is enabled by default, which could confuse a few players as well if they're not careful. And they'll be like, well, where did my gold go? I'm trying to buy this item. And then they'll just notice that the auto buy thing is in the top right corner. Just a few kind of things that I had to point out just to make sure that this didn't seem like I was writing on Omega Studios the whole time. However, for a closed weekend, I think this is going to more than suffice for the vast majority of people that are playing this game, and I think you guys are going to have a lot of fun. I had a lot of fun playing the few games that I was able to record. Shout out Omega Studios for letting me do so. I got to play some new characters. New characters from last time include Rampage, Grux, the Fae, and who am I missing? Oh, of course, Big Daddy Richter himself. How could I forget? These have been a lot of fun playing with Rampage and Grux. I didn't get a chance to play with Richter, unfortunately. My friends did, though, and I got a chance to watch them. So if you guys find those Richter gameplays somewhere on YouTube, I'm sure Mangoose has thrown one out there for y'all to enjoy. So you guys can head on over to his channel and check it out as well if you want to see some Richter gameplay. But some things just feel absolutely fantastic, and some things do need more polish. Like I mentioned, Grux's audio design could use some more work. However, when you jump from a cliff, it's the little things, baby. Like, for example, when you jump from a cliff or a ledge and you land on the ground, you feel the ground shake, you feel your little screen shake, and you can hear the audio. The footsteps sounded heavy, and they sounded really good. The dangling of Richter's chains or the tassels on Chimera's axes felt realistic when it came to the physics as you're running around. And as Rampage, when I wobbled around, I could hear his fists as I was running around in the jungle, just like that. We need a 10-hour version of that video, by the way. I don't know if I ever get an editor, but they'll have to do that one day for me. When you slam the ground as Rampage, you could see the marks left behind. When you throw a boulder, you could see it shatter into tiny little pieces. Little details like these were definitely of note and something that I could see improvement from last time for sure. In terms of abilities and connecting and hitting and feedback, which is something that's super duper important, some abilities felt better than others. Sticking somebody in the back with Kalari's dagger felt really, really good. But at the same time, when taking damage and getting critically low on health, sometimes it would be a bit trickier to realize when you were getting to that point because there's just so much stuff going on. And maybe this is just because, again, this game hasn't been out too long and I haven't had my hands on it for too long either. Haven't been able to get a chance to play it and get used to it and get used to those internal cues, and maybe I will if I play it more and it will suffice. But in my first 3 games, sometimes I found it difficult to really calculate those narrow gaps when I could squeeze out of a team fight with just barely 100 HP remaining, which can go a really long way, especially in higher tier play, which I'm sure that they will try to emphasize more so later on in the lifespan of Predecessor. But right now, like I said, this is still early in development and they are throwing this closed weekend out towards y'all faces. And if you guys have been sleeping underneath a rock, if you guys have not been following me on Twitter, if you guys have not been in the Predecessor Discord, you have no idea what the heck I'm even talking about, you guys are just seeing this for the very, very, very first time, it is not too late if you just stumbled upon this video. This entire weekend, starting from April 1st to April 3rd, there is going to be a closed weekend on Steam on PC only. I'm sorry, PlayStation fans, it's only going to be on PC. But you guys can go ahead, head on over to Steam, request access right now so you get a key in your Steam email to download the Predecessor closed weekend playtest, and you guys will be able to play this game for free this weekend and try it out for yourselves if you guys have been craving some Paragon back in your life. This is a really amazing set of individuals at Omega Studios. They're trying really, really hard to make a spiritual successor to Paragon, which is something that I've been covering on this channel for a really, really long time. If you guys are brand spanking new, make sure you hit that subscribe button, hit the notification bell so you never miss another update video on any of these post-Paragon projects. And once again, catch me live streaming the entire weekend over at twitch.tv/BritikHD. I'll be answering any and all questions, having a good time with you guys, and making some sick Kalari plays as always. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. I really hope you enjoyed, and I cannot wait to see you guys out there on the battlefield this weekend. As always, make sure you have a wonderful day. Peace.
Sleep.